Hey guys, how's it going? My name's Joe from MakeUseOf.com and today we're going to be taking a look at the Blackview P6000. The Blackview P6000 is a chunky 5.5 inch Android phone with a huge battery and some impressive hardware under the hood. Priced at $280, this isn't a flagship model, even if the specification fools you. Let's see what it can do. The P6000 houses an 8-core Helio P25, 6GB of RAM and 64GB of storage, which is expandable via the microSD slot. The 5.5 inch IPS LCD panel is only 1080p, so while it would have been nice to see more pixels or an OLED or AMOLED display, it gets the job done. The case comprises of a cool metal and glass combination. This easily picks up fingerprints and dust, however. With a massive 6180 mAh battery, the P6000 is capable of handling demanding workload. This battery isn't removable, but it supports fast charging via the USB Type-C port. The Touch ID sensor is located on the chin of the phone, and this works very well. The P6000 ships with Android 7.1.1, dual rear cameras and support for dual SIMs. There's no headphone jack, but inside the box you'll find a USB Type-C to 8th inch adapter. Performance is somewhat mixed with this phone. With so much RAM and an 8-core processor, you'd think that this phone would fly through any task, but that's not always the case. General tasks such as web browsing, checking emails, making calls and so on all perform fine. And the 6GB of RAM ensure that you can keep plenty of apps running at the same time. The surprising thing here is there's a tiny lag between opening some apps and then seeing the result. Things like opening new tabs in Chrome or viewing the task launcher. While you may not notice this in everyday use, it's something I definitely noticed coming from an original Google Pixel, which is hardly a current device. Geekbench rates the P6000 at 865 for single core performance. This is a pretty terrible score. If you look at devices such as the LG G3 and the Samsung Galaxy S5, they all perform better than this, and those came out in 2014. Current device single scores are in the 1500 to 2000 range, so a score of 800 is really quite terrible. The P6000 handles gaming surprisingly well despite the slow single core performance. Basic 3D and 2D games work perfectly. The real surprise here is that PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds Mobile Edition runs perfectly, with no stuttering to be seen. You'll have to reduce the graphics to the lowest quality, and the phone does get slightly warm, but the processing power provided by the ARM GPU is certainly capable of keeping up, although perhaps this is more testament to the software engineering into PUBG than the device itself. The battery life of the P6000 is fantastic, and this is one of the biggest reasons to purchase this phone. With 6180 mAh on tap, there's enough power here to run even the most demanding workload. I had no concern at all about running out of power during daily use. Even playing demanding 3D games such as PUBG for nearly an hour did little to diminish the remaining power. Moving on to the cameras, the image quality is very disappointing. Featuring dual rear cameras with a 21 megapixel Sony sensor and face recognition, pictures should come out beautifully clear, but that's not the case. The focus is painfully slow and images come out with a lack of detail. Yes, you can capture Adobe DNG files, shoot in manual mode or correct things in post, but none of that helps to increase the sharpness. The included camera app is reasonable and does a good job of presenting all the features you need in an easy to use way. The front-facing camera produces reasonable results, but again this suffers with a lack of detail. Face detection works well, but it's not enough to save the terrible autofocus. Moving on to video, the video quality is pretty average. The camera records at a maximum resolution of 1080p, and while it's not necessary to have 4K, it would have been nice to at least try get some sort of sharp image. Video suffers from all of the problems photos do and more. The colours are poor, you lose all your sharpness and there's a lack of detail. If you're upgrading from a very old device you may be impressed, but the vast majority of other manufacturers produce better cameras in their phones. There's a few things to like about the P6000. It's got a beautiful screen, it's got some good specs and it's got a massive battery life. Unfortunately, this isn't enough to redeem it from failing to meet the standard met by all the other manufacturers. It tries very hard to keep up, and if you've got basic needs you're probably going to be very happy. But it's hampered by a slow processor and a bad camera, and so you really don't want to use this if you're a power user. Thanks for watching, and make sure you visit the link in the description below for our full review. Make sure you like and subscribe if you've not done so already, and leave a comment down below telling us what you think of the Blackview P6000.